Jim, let's get some questions and stuff. This was sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Dan in Wolverhampton, England.
Okay.
Hello, Jim. What do you make of Jeff Hardy's recent comment that he could have been bigger than John Cena if he had taken better care of his health when he was younger? For what it's worth, I'm personally inclined to agree with Jeff, as I believe that his Google searches were approximately on par with John Cena's around 2009, in spite of Cena being pushed far more heavily by WWE at the time. I have a link here that he sent. Here's the quote. The way I was living life in my 20s and 30s, and if I was living life the way I'm living life now, oh my gosh, there's no telling. I would probably be bigger than John Cena today because I was born with such a gift to be a pro wrestler. It just felt so natural and like I was totally created to do this thing. And the cool thing about that is I'm still here, I still have life, and I feel good. And then apparently he talked about how him and Matt now enjoy ice baths. But
ice baths?
What are your thoughts on the idea that Jeff Hardy believes he could have been bigger than Cena? Do you think that's a fair thought? Do you think that's... What are your thoughts on
Well, first of all, I would say maybe with all that they've done to their bodies, maybe submerging them in ice is probably a beneficial thing. But no, I'm not gonna trash Jeff Hardy here or Terry. He at one point was one of the hottest baby faces, if not the hottest baby face in the company. At one, I don't know if it was that 2009 period. I don't have my notes with me, but Jeff was a big name. And yes, I do agree with the statement Jeff made that if he had taken better care of himself, we all know what that means, then he would have been much bigger, potentially, or at least as big for longer. Would he ever have been bigger than John Cena and that last? Would he ever have been bigger than John Cena at points? Maybe. Would he have been bigger than John Cena in total over the last 25 years? I'm sorry, I still can't say that. Because even if Jeff had been able to be trusted at various points, if they put him in a prominent position that something wasn't going to happen, he still wasn't ever going to be the face of the company. And like I said, hot streak aside, Cena could cut better promos. Cena physically looked better. Cena, I know Jeff had a tremendous appeal with the youth audience and sold a lot of merchandise, but John Cena wasn't really a fad guy. He was consistent through much of his career, whether the really devoted fans liked him or appreciated his work or not, with the merchandise sales, the pay-per-view gates, the TV ratings, the whatever the metrics were at the time. So yes, was it entirely possible and maybe subject to debate that Jeff was hotter at one point in his life than John Cena or almost anybody else? But at the same point, those points didn't last long and there wasn't the longevity, and they were never going to have Jeff Hardy out there even physically looking like that, as this is our Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, Rock, Cena, Roman Reigns guy. Did I say anything inflammatory there that could be misconstrued as being vicious to Jeff Hardy?
You know, it's one of those things where how much further could he have gone if he had never had any of the issues? I don't see any way he could have been bigger than Cena other than like a momentary period of time.
Yeah.
I think Cena was just too big. I mean, look at the reactions he always got.
Well, and also, let's face it, Jeff's work with the basics, and especially as he got older and was working around injuries, but it was all about the high risk, the cool dives, the flashy outfits, the makeup, the blah, blah, blah. You can argue that John's work was the exact opposite, which was more conducive to making money and having a long career, and that they kept him because of his importance from doing anything risky, which is why that he was is still able to do this, whereas Jeff, the only way that he really could get over with his limitations in other departments was to do the risky shit, which led to, all the other problems that he had. So he wasn't going to be the top guy for a long period of time.